Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Greg Doss. I'm not an attorney. I don't have a license to practice law. I do not practice law. What I've done is study the law and I share my experiences with people and how I gather the information. I don't give information as advice to apply to your specific case, but as general information regarding the law and lawful principles that, by the way, do belong to the people. So please use any information obtained from this video or any conversation with me for educational edification only. And the reason that I say that is because I want nothing that I say on this video or even in conversations to be construed to be legal advice. If you feel you need legal advice, I would highly encourage you to hire a licensed state associated bar attorney in your state and be legally advised. And with that being said, anybody who doesn't feel comfortable being here can exit. Everybody else, let's go ahead and kick this off and get this hour in on this election day. And hopefully everybody did exercise their right to vote. All right. So I don't know. I'm not clairvoyant, so I don't read minds. But if anybody has a topic or what have you that you would like for me to delve into as a part of our community discussion, go ahead on and shoot, and we can pick it up from there and start studying or start looking into whatever it is that you may find that you need would like to have my assistance in. Doesn't matter who it is or what direction we
I
can
do,
start.
Greg. I have one question. We already spoke about it, but it's pertaining to, I guess, the question that I asked earlier was, I guess, pertaining to courtroom. Once you go into the courtroom after you file your motions or whatever, file your claim. What to expect next
Mm,
once going into the courtroom in front of the judge against the attorneys and all that good stuff.
okay, so that's where I believe I spoke. That's what to expect is for the people who are there to do whatever they think their assigned job is. That's probably the easiest way to say it. And I don't want to be flippant or sound condescending. The best thing to do is to expect them to operate within the rules of law. I know that sounds kind of funny, but expect them to follow whatever. If they filed something that makes you come into court, expect them to defend their position. If you filed something uh, to bring them into court, prepare to put forth your case, and also prepare for resistance. And that's the thing that I learned from Will is he said, "Hey, these people are going to resist you." No matter what you think or what you may hope happens, you're going to get resistance. And anybody who says you're not, they're doing you a tremendous disservice. And hope I answered your question. I think I'm trying to think what would be the best video I have. I think I have a. I think if you go into Dropbox, isn't there a how to prepare for court webinar? Or I haven't given you all access to that. Can somebody go into your Dropbox and see if you have a? Let me see something. Uh,
You need a video walking us through the appeal process.
say again.
Said you need a video on walking us through the appeal process.
Now
Shoot.
that may constitute legal advice. And again, I have a problem in a private session telling you what I do to as I get ready for the appellate process, which is, you all can see all of my appeal stuff, right?
We saw the
I'm
videos.
guessing.
I think you did do a video where you actually ran through your appeal and like your summaries and stuff. We just gotta slow it down. I think I got it.
Yeah, I think those things are already in there. Um, and I'm trying to clear up some space. I got a new process, another computer coming in, which hopefully will make this process a lot faster for people. Well, actually make so we don't hear all this the computer slowing down or what have you. I have so many windows that are open for other things. Uh, I definitely need to start saving some of this stuff. So let's see what we got going on. Okay, people. For those who are familiar with this process, what do you all see right now? You see my Dropbox?
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
And I think I put Leon's stuff inside of there for everybody too. His entire that proceeding where he won his oh, there you go. Don't y'all have that, right?
What he won is what? What was you saying, Greg? What did he win?
His suppression hearing. Remember his
Oh,
the one where he says, "You're gonna continue to talk, or you're gonna let me address these issues?" When he's talking to
yeah,
the
I remember that one.
yeah, that one. So you all can see what now?
How to prepare for court, serve, improve webinars.
And these were done years ago. Now, what I would tell people is some of this information I would probably um the approach then versus where I am now would be a little bit different. I don't know if Colin is available or not.
Greg, I am looking in the Dropbox and I don't see that in your info Dropbox.
Y'all don't see this at all. Okay. I know I probably need to go through and look at these because let me see. Yeah, I probably should redo some of this stuff because some of this I may actually like this. I wouldn't use this at all. But all this other stuff, um, this is stuff that I would show people uh as it comes to dealing with my cases. I would show people the same thing, like my check I got back from the state of Florida, which I said this had nothing to do with actually had to do with them improperly charging me about writing checks, and I had deposited money, and this is a fucking fiasco. But anyway, I said if I owed child support, what's the likelihood I could have gotten this check back from the state of Florida?
Hey, good evening, brothers.
So you see, if you look on this right here, you'll see where the state of Florida sent me back this check. But I thought this stuff was inside the was inside. I'll put this in here, but these are like informative webinars. This is when I was on high frequency also, or maybe when I might have been in around that time, and I don't even remember what some of these things were for. So I'll put this in there inside the Dropbox for everybody to have.
Check,
And then you all can also,
check one, check two. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, but
Oh, smoke. Good. Can we go back to that video? That guy, that little short guy, Leon, was telling that judge to shut the hell up. Can we go back to that? Let's hear some of that.
no, I can't. I only have a little bit of time today, so they can do that on another day. But it's inside the Dropbox. I'm trying to show them how to navigate within the Dropbox. So, and inside,
Okay.
y'all don't
I'm
have,
trying to learn that too.
y'all don't have any of this either. None of this. Can somebody go into their Dropbox and look and see inside the one that everybody shares? Do you all have all this stuff?
I definitely got a drop, but I just don't know how to, you know. It's neat how you doing that, though. I'm learning.
Greg, all I see is it in the resource and sample docs? That's
Yeah.
all I see.
Look inside your resources document. So nobody has any, is any, okay, forgive me asking, nobody have it. Does anybody have this information?
I don't see that at all in the resource and sample doc.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do then. I'm going to create this and share this. So if I create the link, try this. And you all actually watch me go through it. I don't want nobody destroying the link. So I'll do this. and then I'll go over to YouTube, right? And I'll just edit my YouTube, and I'll put the link inside the YouTube bio information. So you all should see that as well. And then we'll just figure out how to get all this stuff over there. So y'all need this. Y'all need the webinars, correct? And this is stuff I've already done. Again, when it comes to some of this stuff in the webinar, I will say this as a disclaimer, and I'll put this stuff together. Some of this is before I began to elevate in the information. That makes sense to y'all? So I haven't been through them, but this kind of stuff is always going to be the same. Let me see what's in the audio files. Oh, this would be beneficial for you all right now. Check this out. If you all aren't familiar with this, I got this years ago when I was studying when I wasn't studying for the bar, but I wanted to know how attorneys approach stuff and how did they get the information. So I ended up getting this entire bar prep thing. I got a couple of classes on that stuff that I paid some decent money for. But I want y'all to listen to this right here and take notes.
Let's start out with strict scrutiny. Strict scrutiny applies to the following areas. It applies to protected First Amendment rights. Protected First Amendment rights. It applies to suspect classes. And there are 3 suspect classes. I'll give you a mnemonic for them. The word is RAN, R-A-N. R stands for race. A stands for alienage. And please put an asterisk by alienage because it's not always suspect. We'll get to that in a little bit.
It's all fair use.
And the N stands for national origin. So strict scrutiny applies to suspect classes, race, alienage with an asterisk, national origin. Strict scrutiny also applies to your fundamental rights, which we just discussed. Right to vote, right to travel, right to privacy. And under right to privacy, the mnemonic camper. Contraception, abortion, marriage, procreation, private education, family relations. So that is strict scrutiny subject matter. Make sure you memorize it and understand that strict scrutiny applies only to those areas. Now, how do you determine if a class is suspect? A class is suspect if it is, number 1, determined by characteristics which are unalterable. Determined by characteristics which are unalterable. And number 2, there must be a history of purposely unequal treatment. Characteristics unalterable and a history of purposely unequal treatment. Now, under strict scrutiny, the burden of production under strict scrutiny is on the state to show that the law is necessary to achieve a compelling state interest. Necessary to a compelling state interest. The key element in this test is the word necessary. In order for a law to be necessary, that means that there is no less restrictive alternative means available. Because if there is an alternative means available, then that law is not necessary. So this is a very difficult test for the state to pass. It is very hard for the state to show that the law is necessary to a compelling interest. In other words, there's no other way for the state to accomplish its purpose other than by passing this law.
Once again, that was used under fair use. But what I wanted everybody to know is there are hundreds of these things that I have, volumes of it. And I used to, when I stopped doing the DJing thing, so to speak, I used to sit there overnight and just let all this stuff, hours of lectures from these professors go by. But I'll make sure that we come up with something, and we'll probably off air, I'll put something together. But did everybody understand what the professor was talking about in that area when it comes to strict scrutiny? And it doesn't mean also that some of these things haven't already been addressed. So always,
Yeah, it doesn't apply to the private sector. Basically, abortion, procreation, or who you decide to be with.
yeah, your privacy issue. Yeah. But then again, there are certain issues because we know abortion was just reached, and abortion was a privacy issue. For those who didn't know, it did when Roe versus Wade had nothing really to do with the performance of the abortion. Roe versus Wade had to do with the woman's private relationship with her doctor, and her doctor not having to divulge anything that was a part of a private relationship. I know it's become synonymous with abortion, but Roe versus Wade had more to do with privacy between a woman and her doctor. But so we'll go through here and we'll grab some of the stuff out here. So let me. No, this is all in the webinar series. See what's in there, how to prepare for court. Okay, there's 2 versions of that. And this is actually a video, by the way. So I'll put that stuff together for people, and we'll come up with some other ideas. And like
I
here,
appreciate it too, Greg. I appreciate that.
y'all can
I
see
really need it.
the PMBR. This is like a bar review, and you see all these things are all disc and volumes of information. So I feel it's only fair. It's kind of like when I was talking to Leon, he was telling me how he first started learning about the law. And it's the same thing I tell people. I haven't figured out what people mean, particularly those close to me who claim they don't know, when somebody looks at me, they don't understand what I know. And I don't even know what the fuck that means. But at any rate, I just say you never judge a book by its cover. But all this stuff, yeah, I've gone through. And you add to that the number of times inside of a courtroom. And that not just as a defendant, but it's just a court watcher. I used to do that. So we'll go through and get through some of this right here. See a trial coming up. Trial coming up for somebody else. But okay, anybody else have any questions or anything else you want me to go over? And by the way, you all get your notes together. So when you see it, you send me an email. Hey, Greg, don't forget this, because Greg tends to put, if I don't get it, if I'm not reminded, I don't intentionally forget things. But if I just to make sure we cover that, and we'll create that, maybe do some sort of private group where I can put that out there without it being potentially thought to be something else. Like I said, I don't practice law. I don't give legal advice. I just try to show you all the process that I went through. And you're looking at something closer to, you're talking about this happened over a course of about 13 years. So I don't want anybody to be misled. Anybody have anything else? Or did I
Hey,
answer?
Greg, I got a question.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, BA?
How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
So what would you do if you were in a situation where you just had a hearing for the support related and you don't necessarily agree with how that went and what was I guess ruled, and if you're having difficulties with your lawyers as far as where you're gonna go with it forward,
Okay.
would you
Yes. I
so
tend
all
to say disparaging about a lawyer, an attorney. I don't do that here.
no, we're not trying to get to that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what would you do in that situation? Would you wait? Because I know there's a certain amount of time that you have to appeal. So would you let that window close and find out another way to get back in it? Because wouldn't you have the next step? I think the next step for a person in that situation will be the Superior Court, right?
Well, you all call it Superior Court, but let's go back and answer each question individually if I can remember them correctly. If it were me and I didn't agree with my attorney, I would speak to my attorney about, which goes back to when I told people sometimes we're not good clients. Speak with your attorney about the strategy for going into the courtroom. That's the first thing that everybody has to be. Don't forget, that person may be your attorney, but it's still your case. Right?
Right.
And so some of the strategy should have been discussed prior to going in. And I know that comes from just having an understanding of the process. I would never let, if it were me, I would never knowingly let um a window close. Okay. I would never recommend I would never recommend, actually I don't recommend anything. I would never let a window close on me, not intentionally. Because sometimes you may not raise it there, you may actually waive it. Remember, if it's not raised,
Right.
waived potentially. Um, the other thing is, if you did you have you have a transcript of your proceeding?
I don't have one in hand. Not from them. I don't have any of them, honestly. I don't have any of my preceding transcript. I don't have one for any of them.
Okay.
I would ask your attorney, did they get a transcript or a recorder to have a recorder recorded?
And I mean, and not necessarily not that you necessarily have to disagree with the attorney that you have, which is not 100% of my situation. But what if you don't agree with the decision that was taken? How would you move forward there if you know that your attorney at the time um, doesn't believe that they can help you any farther, or that the next level of court is not gonna take the case?
I don't quite understand the question. If you don't, if you always have the right to dismiss your attorney, or your attorney can always withdraw. In your case,
Correct.
has your attorney withdrawn from the case?
No.
So he or she is still your attorney. Because the attorney can't withdraw in some instances without permission from the court, unless there's an issue that would allow
Right.
for him to withdraw. Uh, Without seeing all the specifics, I couldn't tell you, but I would just, if you don't agree with the court's decision, not just not agreeing with it, if you think the court might have created some sort of reversible error, I would make sure I would do all I could to preserve my objection to that error. In that way, I could appeal based upon my objection to the error. Excuse me, I've been up all night with this appeal thing. Everybody kind of understand that? Don't let any,
Yeah. Preserve your right to object, take it to appeal.
yeah. Even if you don't know why you're objecting, just make sure that objection is made. But in your case, did your attorney raise any objections during any of the proceedings?
No. I mean, there were some issues that were raised, but they didn't care for them. I don't know if it matters. I'll give you an example.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean they who didn't care for him?
The judge. So basically, whatever we argue for, there was a no. Well, we can't do that. We can't do that.
That can happen, but I like to be able to know. Let me ask you a question: do you have a copy of the complaint, or the petition, or the pleading filed by the attorney?
For my attorney or the other party?
Well, both actually, but definitely your attorney, because your attorney brought you back into court, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Who
goes.
Well,
brought
actually,
the Who
no,
brought the
no. So
action, BA?
hang
Who
on.
brought the action? You
So,
brought the action?
The reason why this went to court again is because mom filed for an increase based on.
oh, okay.
So that's how we got back in it. Now, she originally started the case herself, but the reason why we got back now this year in 2024 was because
Upward modification of child support.
correct, which according to the rules you can only do so I think it's every 3 years, and the last time we had one was in 2022. So we're not even
You're under
enough.
okay. So that was
Yeah, it's every 3 years if it's under the administrative process, which is the Department of Child Support Services. But I know in Georgia, every 2 years, either parent, whether they have what do you call it, Greg?
time
Shared time.
sharing.
Yeah, we call it custody and visitation. You can do it every 2 years.
Yeah.
So we got to get down
So
with the fact
was that,
how it
there
works.
was even a suggestion. There was even a suggestion by the judge that the other party files for a modification, modification every year just to see if I was making more money in overtime. And
Well,
I was made.
I wouldn't know how to respond to that directly, other than to say, are you sure that the judge gave her advice, or did it just sound like to you that the judge gave her legal advice?
The judge told her. Then there was an issue, and she said, "Well, then you can come back in and file for a modification every year because they want to consider my overtime and my premium pay and so on."
Oh, just step back and listen to the question. Am I correct when and what I'm hearing from you is that the judge gave her potentially gave her legal advice? The judge gave a party legal advice. Are you sure that's what you think you heard?
I did. I mean, what I heard was, though, well, your attorney, your party can come.
You don't have to answer it. Think about it. You don't have to answer it, but think about it. I'm sure everybody else listening heard as well.
Yeah.
Because
All right.
I like to think that you're mistaken, highly mistaken. You might have thought you heard that, but it definitely would love it. You definitely want to try to see about getting those transcripts because what you said kind of sounds a little. Was she represented by an attorney or no?
Yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to raise. If you have the time, and this might just be a bad perception of me looking at bad information, but the I was always wondering how come, like, did she even have an attorney to be there? Since I guess the perception is that once whichever party files, give the rights to the state.
Like the subrogation of rights, but
I guess so.
but she'd have to have rights to subrogate. And
Yeah,
again,
that's
without seeing the entire case, I couldn't tell. But even if she had subrogatable rights, it would stand to reason against not legal advice that there had to be some sort of meritorious determination.
oh
We can have a conversation off through like a consult kind of way, a little bit
yeah.
off here, and that way we can get into the depths. A lot
Yeah,
of
I'm finally
frustrating.
feeling better.
Yeah, it's probably feel frustrating now, but once we kind of go through the process of consultations and other speaking, stuff will become clearer to you. Trust me.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I texted you yesterday. I was dealing with a little voice issue. My voice is not back yet, and I'm out training for work today. I'm just on my lunch break, so I didn't even know this was happening until I went on YouTube to look something up and showed up. So
Well, I'm glad it showed. Yeah, I did this kind of more impromptu. Um,
yeah,
okay.
the plan is definitely get with you and start, getting the one-on-ones and so on.
Yeah, there's some things that I would love to discuss here that I think I'd be more comfortable not doing it this right here on this one here.
Yep.
Um, I'm looking at this guy Robert Johnson, knowing child support or whatever that word is a government contract between state and federal collect reimbursement welfare. I don't understand that question. It sounds like it's kind of like a run-on sentence. And I'm not being funny, but I did tell you I used to tutor, right? And I worked in the education system. Come back, yes, sir. Y'all knew that, right? So, and also, I was talking to somebody today, and they were talking about the ability to write. I guess some people are using like Chat GPT and what have you. And don't forget that Chat GPT may not necessarily benefit you when it comes to the totality of your courtroom situation. Because Chat GPT has been known to make, unless you have like the law-based Chat GPT, which might be a little bit better, but from what I've learned through, because I have it as well, but we also have that sophisticated one that the firm would have, which is a lot. I think it's crazy, but anyway, it's like a rocket launcher. But I tell people to focus on learning how to write and understand the narrative to your situation, so that way, you can more likely than not uh, help yourself. You know, I guess I must not have put the Zoom link. Cancel that. Can somebody put the Zoom link in for this show? The Zoom link inside of because I'm on a different computer. The Zoom link inside the chat on the YouTube chat. I'm hoping I'm doing it right.
You already put it in the chat on YouTube. It's there.
Okay. Okay. To everybody. Yeah, so but yeah, we have to work on writing better and doing other things. Maybe we'll come up with a way to do some court preparation style. And I don't say courtroom. I'll say courtroom etiquette, fundamentals of courtroom etiquette. I think there may actually be someone on my page further down, but that way we can kind of do more to help people out with what I think some of the issues are presentation issues, if that makes sense to you all. And as far as I'm seeing, is there a loophole to stop child support if there is no debt to the state? I think that sounds more like some of that discussion that goes on out there. Loophole. I don't know what a loophole is. If you're saying there are rules that can help stop or methods to stop it, that's possible depending on the facts. It's not legal advice. And if there's no debt to the state? There's a lot of wordplay that may not be beneficial in an actual for an actual case. But definitely you can hit the link and join in and probably ask a more coherent kind of question as it relates to that. And what's good, Mr. Turner? Texas dude. All right, what's up? What's next? We got a couple more minutes left. Or does anybody have anything else? If not, we can shut it down and we wait till Saturday to come up with a series, because I know Saturday's going to be the next issue, I mean, the next episode of that paperwork ain't going to work. Paperwork alone is not going to work. If you out and if you have paper that you can't go in and present the facts of the case, you're going to struggle. There's no passcode for you all, right?
Nah, it's not.
Okay, let me see. Let me just in here. Sarah's just trying to come in. Passcode. There you go. But yeah, we have to take a more we have to take an adult approach to some of these issues. And I think if we do that, I think we'll be in better shape overall. What's good, Yasir?
Hey,
Yeah, a little bit more impromptu. I won't be available tomorrow. But what we're doing is I'm just trying to go over some questions that people may have, uh, and some other stuff that hopefully can help guys, not just in child support, just in any issue. Of course, it's not legal advice, but if somebody has any questions or any thoughts, or even any ideas of future, because the child support basics will be done on Saturday. Moving forward, if anybody has any ideas or thoughts or suggestions as to something I should discuss. I know we've heard how to prepare for court, but I think I have a video on that. I may do a webinar on that because that was a little bit more private. Um, uh, Focusing on your writing. I think most of you guys should be pretty good with issue spotting. Because I know that's inside the resources folder, but you got anybody have any thoughts, ideas, or any comments before we get out of here today? And sit on your hands. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. Yeah, I don't read mine.
I feel like I done asked a lot of questions, so I'm trying to let everybody else get their question.
So it's all good. You have anything else you want to bring up?
I just wanted, hold on. I just wanted you to go over the certified mail thing if you had a chance to go over that.
Oh,
And also I sent you a link saying who do you want to serve in the FOIA request when you request it.
or you mean who you want to send it to the appropriate administrative department or executive agency department. So let's see this. And you also want to send something to whatever your state's agency is as well. All right. Whoever the agency is that's supposed to have it, that's who you want to send it to. So you see it, certified mailing label? Is that what you all wanted to see?
Yeah, I wanted to see that because I'm really interested in downloading this, getting that service because I'm about to I got to get that information so I can go ahead and proceed with the next steps of me setting up my defense in regards to my motion to set aside judgment, my motion to set aside default judgment.
He's no longer the head of Health and Human Services. I don't think it's Alex Azar, but let's look and see. I think it's Xavier Barrera. Yep. And so that name would change, and I would do this. I'm not doing this because I had to pay for it, but it tells you certified electronic confirmation, return receipt. You can do it priority, you can do it any kind of way you want to. It asks you for an envelope type. I showed y'all what I use. Um, Make sure you want to stay honest with your number of pages. So that affects the price. If you think you're not going to send it today, you're going to send it tomorrow. You want to take care of that as well. Making sense?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so once you do this, it's gonna say this. Well, I can do this to preview. But what I can't show you from here is, so it's gonna give you that and it's gonna put everything in there. If I were to purchase it, it's gonna say by hitting OK, it's gonna create that label. So I don't want it to do that. But it'll create the label. I'll say to download. After I say to download, I go into what's called Avery because I have an Avery account. I'm not Ace. I use Avery because it's just convenient for everything that I do. and it holds all my old stuff. And this thing takes any goddamn longer. Oh, there I am in. So then anything that I've already done, it'll show up. It'll show up. So I don't need any of this. I don't even know why he gave me this. This is not what I normally see. But
And
anyway,
Greg, just a quick question. So you could take basically a PDF and it actually sends it out, or it prints it off as a label instead of you going to the post office
yeah, Principal,
paying.
I'm about to show you one.
Okay.
They printed that for me. And then I'll print it out and it'll come out like a um then it'll print this off for me. And then I peel it off. And depending on whether I use my own envelope or one of these that I showed you the other day, like this, well, that might not be priority because it's certified. Um, and I put it on the label. Can y'all see that? I just get one of these little labels and I send it out that way.
Yeah, you put it on the USPS level, so it doesn't actually convert the document, or they kind of like this. I was thinking there was another way. I was thinking like you just create the document and you have it in your computer, and then you just attach the document to it, and it kind of just send it out by itself. But basically, it's just a label printer, a certified label printer.
Still mail it. But you take it to your damn post. God damn, man, we gotta do something for ourselves. Yeah. You gotta go and put it
And
in.
for all that though, Greg, I can just go up to the post office.
Absolutely. Knock yourself out. I just told you, you asked me what I do.
Yeah, yeah, because I thought you had like I guess it was like I thought you had like something. I don't know. I thought it was different than what it was, what you were showing them. You were like certified mailer.
There's no way
Uh,
to get around putting something in the mail other than having them come pick it up, which you can go put in your mailbox and they'll take it out of your mailbox. And then you put the little flag, remember? Or if you're in an apartment complex, you put it in there and the mailman will know to take it through however you do it at your complex. I take it to the airport because that's the most direct way to get it done there, and I get what's called a certificate of mailing, or they just give me a receipt and it shows, hey, sent it out on this date. But really, once I scanned it inside the post office, even if I didn't get the certificate, the receipt from one of the agents, I can go drop it in there because it's going to print me a receipt and send me an email. It'll even get
okay, so in regards to so like, what's the efficiency of that though? Because I'm thinking about getting it, but I just want to know like, is it like because I know like with the if I go to the post office, I'm only paying about $5 to get a certified mail.
same thing here, but you know what happens?
Well,
Once it's done or received, I know. Makes sense to you?
yeah, I mean, I got a USPS app, so it let me know once it arrived. But
You get that?
no, they put a little green sticker on the front of the envelope, and then they kind of mail it off, and then I gotta use the tracking number, type in the tracking number, and it lets me know once it arrived.
I get all that. It's just efficient for me and it works for me. That's
Okay,
why
okay, it's just more efficient. Okay, I got you.
I ain't telling anybody else that they have to do it. I don't suggest you do anything you don't want to do. I just
No,
show
no, no. I just was trying to see if it was like uh, I guess a faster process or something like additional that you can kind of cut the line of going to the mail postal service and getting everything put on there.
you can send some things via email and that counts as a service as well. Look at the rule. because I send certain things to the email of the state agencies or the city agencies or departments. I send things to email as well. Because that's part of the public domain, right? That's not work product, right? Belongs to the public. So anybody else got anything?
Hey, I got a question.
Yes,
Uh,
George.
what would you do if the Department of Revenue trying to take your lawsuit? I have a pending lawsuit, and they want to take half of that lawsuit. So what would you do?
What kind of lawsuit is it?
It's a motor lawsuit, a car accident.
It's a car accident. If it were me, I would. Is the debt legitimate?
It's no, I don't think the debt legitimate. It's just be honest with you, just arrears only, but they trying to take half of that.
Have
And
you arrears?
it just I can't hear you. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
I'm sorry. Have you challenged whether or not the arrears amount is an accurate amount?
No, I haven't challenged that. No, not at all.
Well, that's where you are.
Okay, so I have to challenge that.
Right. I'm not even thinking because I'm not sure that they can actually get that from you. Because that's not income, is it?
No, the lawsuit is not income. No.
Okay, so this is if they can come back and get income, correct?
Correct.
I'm not sure that they can get. Who's your attorney? What state? In fact, what state is it?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. Ask your attorney what gives them the right to take that.
Right. Okay.
If it was saved for a workman's comp, man, that makes sense. If it was,
Right.
even from certain kinds of lawsuits, it would make sense.
Right.
I don't know that would apply to that. Am I making sense to you? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you making sense. Yeah.
But if it were, did you say if it were me?
Right.
If it were me, I would have challenged the viability and the accuracy of the debt. Can somebody respond to Robert for me? Because I don't know if he wants to have a conversation or if he wants to just, because if you can type, you can call, you can come into the Zoom. And I don't deal with hypotheticals too much. But yeah, I would find out from your attorney what gives, because I've resolved a couple of instances and I didn't give him anything.
Right. Okay.
That may be something that the attorney would have to answer, but the reality is, so if you're in Fort Lauderdale, what's that, the 17th as well? What's that?
Yep, the 17th. Yep.
Yeah, I would look into that. How soon have you all gone through negotiation already? Or are they already saying they're going to?
We haven't gone through negotiations already, but the Department of Revenue already sent to the insurance company once the negotiations finish and they cut the check that they want half of my proceeds.
Oh, you can tell them don't give them shit. I mean, if it were me, I'd probably kiss my ass. You don't.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
So I tell the insurance company don't get them nothing.
No. I ain't giving you advice. You say, what would I do?
Okay. Right.
No, that's something. But you have an attorney. I would talk to the attorney.
Okay. You're right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't read that word. Anybody else? Anything else? That's it? All right, well, shoot. As always, in getting out of here, and I do appreciate everybody stopping by. Don't forget our last class is going to be on Saturday for the child support basics. So get your questions in order. And I hope I didn't forget anything that I was supposed to discuss relative to uh, anything that has to do with, because barbershop talk doesn't have to be about child support. It can be about anything, or just with the understanding I can't give you legal advice. So if that's it, I know a couple guys have hearings coming up. Please keep us up to date with how your hearing goes. And if there's anything else we can do to help, definitely get in touch with me. And Rob, that applies to you too. But come on Saturday at 9:30, guys. Yeah, Saturday at 9:30. And the last one's gonna be like a part 2 of that paperwork. Paperwork alone ain't gonna get you what you want. You can't win if you're not willing to go in. It's just not gonna happen. And anybody has you convinced that there's a one size fit all to resolving your child support issue is not being honest with you. It just doesn't work that way. All right. So hey, if you haven't done so already, please go out and exercise your vote. Many people went through a lot for you to have it, no matter which side you decide to vote on. I think it's pretty clear where I stand. But that being said, sometimes it's not about right or wrong. More importantly, it's about clarity. You never reach a resolution if you're not willing to engage in honest dialogue. Even if that dialogue is with yourself, take time to hug the person you love and love the person you hug. On behalf of GD Attorney Pro Se Consultants, I'm Greg Doss. I'm also the infamous DJ Squid. I'm saying peace and chicken grease. I will see you guys on Saturday. I'm out.
All
All
right,
right,
see
great.
you.
Have a good one, man.